Okay. I don't know what the problem is lately, but I'll launch the QuickTime there, and I press go, and it doesn't go. It just stays like that. Are you recording now? Let's look. Yeah, that's the stop button. Okay, so we'll put it on there so we can stop at the end. So we're a little distracted tonight because Charlie just lost a tooth up there. Now, he's 13. He's still losing those back teeth. And he was a little late with all the teeth, so it's not that shocking that he lost a tooth. But the funny thing is, I didn't feel it. He just came running down here with a tooth in his hand. Blood coming out of his mouth. But, yeah, he's back at his game, so cheers, everyone. I can't remember what this was called, but I got to look it up because our friends over there at Monster Movie Happy Hour, I got this drink from their Twitter. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm behind on your podcast. I'll try to get caught up. But I'm going to plug you anyway, because I made your drink. This is called a Murderous Mushroom. From their Shrooms episode, number 127. I'll give them a nod in the credits. Link up to their... I can't remember if they're on YouTube or if they're just like podcast. Myself, I like the podcast better when they're on YouTube and I can see who's talking. Because I'm a dumbass and I'm not going to just recognize somebody's voice unless you got like Tom Waits on your podcast. I might recognize his voice. Okay, let's set that over there. I had to read this. So, I didn't print out all the posters, because tonight we've got, it's a double feature, kind of, but it's almost a quadruple feature, because we're going to talk about not only the original movie, but the remake, whatever remake I saw. So, you can at me if you want, but... I don't really care if I missed a remake or two in between. This, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And this here's the original 1956 cover, poster, one sheet. What do we got here? Walter Wanger. See, I tried to help you, Walter. I tried to help you. Walter Wagner would be a much more respectable name than Walter Wanger. Really? Your name is Wanger. Okay, I shouldn't make fun of the guy. I don't know the word. Is that German? Wanger? We'll just say that so that it sounds better. Actually, I think I know somebody with that name. It was a girl, and they referred to her in the office as Big Wang. All right. Walter Wanger. Let's see. Allied Artists, blah, 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 Collier's Magazine. Is Collier's Magazine still around? I don't think it is. Called it The Nightmare That Threatens the World. Ooh. Classic poster, though, starring Kevin McCarthy, Dana Winter with Larry Gates, King Donovan. Yeah, that's his name, King Donovan. Carolyn Jones, Gene Wiles, Ralph Dumke. There you go. I'm going to set that one over there because I like it. Okay, we got 2 pages for this, so bear with me. We're going to get through it. And no, I'm not going to go full on the second. This is 1955 is the copyright. I think it was released in 56. Republic Pictures, directed by Don Siegel. And starring that blonde Carolyn Jones of yesteryear. You kids know who Carolyn Jones was? Like, have you seen The Addams Family? You know, the TV show? Morticia? In this, she looks more like the blonde goody two-shoes, prissy kind of sister that shows up in The Addams Family. And so Morticia's weird, normal sister. Well, I don't know how normal she is. Okay, we open up on a crazy guy being subdued in a hospital. Only it turns out the crazy guy is a doctor too. A doctor named Benell. Remember that. From Santa Mira. And does he have a tale to tell? Cue blurry screen. I don't know if I have that technology. It all started when he was called back from a medical convention by his able-bodied nurse. She tells him of townsfolk having canceled appointments just unexpectedly, and of other folks complaining that their loved ones just weren't the same anymore, not themselves. Only takes a couple of calls and he realizes she's right. Something goofy is going on here. He also hooks up with his old sweetheart. Not the nurse. Different lady. While they're on a hot date, they have to leave their martinis behind to go respond to his buddy Jack's house. Jack and his wife, Jones, who just found a strange body in the basement. And the body's starting to look a lot like Jack. Well, they do the right thing and they get the fuck out of there and head to the doc's house. But there, they find more bodies. I don't remember if it was outside. It must have been outside. Bodies emerging from these giant seed pods. I'm assuming at this point that all of you have seen this, so you know there's spoilers on my show, but I'm not going to wreck the end. But I'm pretty sure you've all at least seen the remake of this one. They realize that the strange behavior in town is from these pod people who have replaced the real people. Suddenly, Benell and his babe find themselves the only real people left in town. And they must make a run for the highway. It's funny how in the old days it only affected this little region of California. So if you can make it to the highway, you're safe. I don't think that's what they'd find. They also must not sleep, because that's when the pod people take over your mind, and your mind transfers from your body into the pod man's body. Run for your lives. That's actually what I wrote there. Okay, good enough to spawn a 70s remake, which we will talk about in just a second. This one is a nice little thriller. It plays on a real base fear, kind of like Last Man on Earth, of being the last survivor in a world of mindless freaks, where no one believes you until it's too late. I think 1956. We've probably seen this before, and we certainly saw it plenty of times after. It's not the greatest movie ever made, but it's pretty damn good. Three. It's a 3-ring circus here on Feature 1. Oh, that's good. That's got spiced rum in it. And I'm going to say it again. I don't care how much you spend on rum. Anything with rum is better with spiced rum. That's just Captain Morgan's. And it's fantastic. Captain Morgan's, a little bit of Luxardo, lime juice, honey. Shook that up. Okay. It is now 1978. It's time for a remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers by United Artists Films. Directed by Philip Kaufman. Starring Donald Sutherland, Brooke Adams, Mr. Spock. That's Leonard Nimoy. Jeff Goldblum, who I didn't remember at all was in this movie. Yeah, I just rewatched this last week because I saw it. I may have even seen this in the theater when I was like, what was I, 12 or something? But I haven't seen it since the 70s. Let's just say that. So I rewatched it last weekend, and yes, Jeff Goldblum and Veronica Cartwright. Okay. It only varies from the original somewhat, and mostly in that it's much more, shows much more the pod kind of, there's a lot more special effects, because they had that, and these are practical effects, not like CGI or anything in 1978. But go into more detail about how the pods are moved around and stuff, and how the people who've been taken kind of cultivate the pods. Sutherland stars as Bennell, and we don't have the flashback sequence this time. And it's him that's very skeptical about what's going on. He loves Elizabeth and he wants to believe her, but her tale is just too fantastic. I mean, come on. But I mean, they all saw the body there. Jeff Goldblum and his wife, I don't know which one she is. Yeah, the body shows up there at their massage parlor mud bath place there in San Francisco. And yeah. I wrote, annoying Jeff Goldblum is right all along. Now, I love Jeff Goldblum. He's a great actor. And he's very funny on these late night talk shows when he comes on. I'd love to have him on this show. But the character that he plays in this show is like very annoying. And he plays this character very well. So I'm glad that he didn't get typecast and never star in another movie. People are not what they seem, and this is one of those rare occasions where the remake is better than the original. Yeah, you heard me. A fantastic 70s sci-fi thriller. 4 rings for the 1978 version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Now, we're probably going to need another one of these. And then we'll be back for another double feature, this one going like 1952 and into the 2000s for the remake. So a fairly recent remake. We'll be right back, kids.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.